Mic'd on relief was what neighbors told me both on and off camera surrounding Leilani Simon being found guilty in the murder of her baby boy. People who live on that street say so much has happened surrounding that area for years now, and they're happy to return to some sense of normalcy. They say they're glad that justice has been served.
Malice murder. We find the defendant guilty.
That verdict was reached in just 7 hours from a jury after hearing nearly 2 weeks of testimonies and looking at evidence. Leilani Simon was found guilty on all 19 counts for her son's tragic death.
She can't hurt him no more. He can't be hurt anymore.
Jerry McCusker, Leilani's neighbor, has lived on Buckhalter Road for close to 14 years. She remembers that day investigators initially showed up to look for Quinton, searching her property along with neighbors all along that street.
We looked all through there. We went to the wood line and looked back there. Like I said, that the following morning, Thursday morning, I walked from my house to the church down there on just like looking in the ditches, praying the whole time, God, please don't let me find this baby in this ditch.
Jerry says Leilani's story about how Quinton disappeared didn't make sense from the beginning.
It just didn't sound. Not at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't think that a child that small would come out the house.
From there, she says all along the street, people flocked to Leilani's home, a point she makes as none of the same YouTubers and bloggers were present for Quinton's trial.
They had cars up and down the road here. They were standing outside the house hollering and screaming at them, and it seemed stupid to me because that wasn't helping Quinton in the least bit.
She followed along throughout the entire trial, wanting justice for that little boy across the street.
I was praying that he would have his justice. Like I said, it just seemed crazy to begin with. It just didn't seem believable.
Jerry says she hopes the verdict can bring closure.
I'm glad that she is, and I pray that she does not get out of jail anytime soon. That day that they found her guilty, I said now they could tear that house down.
That home across the street from Jerry won't be torn down though. It sold back at the end of February for nearly $400,000 to another homeowner and is currently being remodeled completely. We're still waiting on a sentencing date for Leilani, and we'll continue to bring you full coverage of that day when it happens. Reporting live in studio, Madeline Bierstert, WTOC News.
All right, thank you, Madeline. Here's a look at all the charges Simon has been convicted of and what each offense could cost her. Just for malice murder alone, she could face life in prison with or without parole.
And don't forget, you can take a look at all of our coverage of the murder trial and the investigation. Just look for the Quinton Simon case page under the News tab.
Well, the countdown to the presidential